Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on this channel. Today I'm going to be training whilst talking about my SSO regret. Now I swear I start each and every training video at Starshine, but that is for a very good reason, because Starshine is like the best area to train your horse. Now, starting off with my first regret, and that is not starting SSO earlier. I believe I started around the end of 2020, so basically in quarantine. No, actually it might have been the end of 2019. I'll put the exact date on the screen for you guys so that you guys know it, but I started pretty late. I started after the graphics update, and yeah, I just regret not knowing or not playing in old SSO. I do know old SSO because I did used to watch YouTube videos on Star Stable YouTubers who would play SSO, and that was still with the old graphics, but when I created this account, Clara Kittner, SSO had already updated to the graphics it has now. So yeah, that's something I definitely regret. The Generation 1 starter horses I would have really liked to experience, but sadly I wasn't around to experience them. Now, on the topic of starter horses, I also really regret changing my starter horses code. I basically changed my starter horses code because I believe it was a club I was in that had the Jorvik Warmblood as a club horse, and I didn't own a Jorvik Warmblood, and your starter horse is technically classified as a Jorvik Warmblood. So I just changed my Jorvik Warmblood, my starter horse, to look as much like a Jorvik Warmblood that you can buy. But now I do still know what it originally looked like, so I could just change it back, but I don't know. I just really regret that I even changed it in the first place. Now, my third regret is a regret that a lot of people have, and that is selling horses. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't really sell any horses, but me and my sister once logged on onto SSO, and we were those type of people who would just buy horses without thinking. We would buy old horses sometimes because at Ferdinand's Horse Market, because those horses were really cheap. And I bought an old English Thoroughbred and an old Jorvik pony, which you can still buy the old Jorvik pony, so that one I regret a little bit less. But basically I bought an old English Thoroughbred and an old Jorvik starter pony, and I sold them within the same day. So I really regret that. Oh wait, I started. Alright, sorry to stop talking about what I was talking about. But I can't select the fourth race. There's a glitch where you can't select the fourth race sometimes. So sadly today is one of those days, so I'll just have to do it with the first three. But basically, I sold the Generation 1 English Thoroughbred and the Generation 1 Jorvik Pony in the same day that I bought it, and I really regret that. Other than that, I have never sold any horses, I believe, so yeah, I'm really happy with that. But I did sell those two horses that I bought within the same day just because they were cheap, and I thought, well, I'm never gonna ride them, so why not sell them for Jorvik shillings? That might have been the stupidest thing I've ever done, but you know, it's fine. It's been a long time ago. I can still buy the Jorvik pony. Sadly, I can't buy the English Thoroughbred back, but I'll just have to live with that. And on the topic of older horses, or Generation 1 horses, I never bought any of the Generation 1 Andalusians or Generation 1 Frisians, even though I was actively playing at that time and I knew that they were gone. I thought, you know what, I don't need any Generation 1 horses anymore because I have one Generation 1 Arabian, which I'm really happy that I did buy that because I never bought any Andalusians or Frisians. And yeah, I just really regret that because every time I see someone riding it now, I'm like, oh yeah, I can never buy those ever again, you know? That's something that I definitely really regret. Another thing that I really regret is how I handled clubs in the beginning of my SSO journey, because when I finally got Star Rider and I leveled my account up to about level 18, I believe it was, I basically started looking into clubs because around that level you get a lot less quests and there's just a lot of less there's a lot less things that you can do. So I started looking into clubs, and younger me didn't really know what it meant to be in a club. So I would like join a club for 1 week and leave again. And I was quite young. I was like around the age of 11 or something, so I shouldn't even be joining clubs because a lot of clubs had like an age requirement, and I did not meet those. But I was still accepted into those clubs. So yeah, I don't really know what younger me was doing. I definitely shouldn't have been allowed to be in those clubs, but it's fine. I wasn't in them for a very long time, and I was basically what a lot of people call a club hopper. And a club hopper is basically just someone who joins a club and leaves very quickly to join a different club. And not everyone who does this is necessarily a club hopper. You could also just be looking for the correct club, and maybe the club you joined isn't suited for you, so you leave after a week. But that's definitely not what younger me was doing. I was literally joining a club, not even sure if I wanted to join. I just wanted to get that feeling of, wow, I'm accepted into this club. And there are clubs that I applied like 5 times for, and I got accepted 5 times. And I did stay in that club for about a few months, so it's not like I totally um, joined and left each time, but definitely most of the time. So I don't know why that club ended up accepting me. So eventually I just stopped applying for that club because I got older and I started realizing that, what I'm doing is wrong. I'm wasting a lot of people's time by making my application saying that I'm going to be a very active member, and I was active, but only for like 2 weeks before I left. But like I said, I was young, I had no business even joining clubs in the first place, so that was totally my fault, and I very much regret joining all of those clubs because I wasn't a loyal member. Even though I thought I was, I definitely wasn't, because joining a club for a week, then leaving it, and then when the next round of applications come around, applying again just to do the same thing is not a very loyal thing to do. Now, eventually, like I said, and quite obvious, I got older and I started realizing that, I shouldn't be joining clubs to leave them this quickly. So I definitely started to be more thorough with my decision on wanting to join a club or not. And eventually, I did actually join a club for about a year or so, and that was like a really great experience. I met a lot of friends through that club, and yeah, it was generally just a very fun experience. Now, um, eventually, like groups started to be a thing in the SSO world, and I also joined a few groups. And yeah, and not only did I join a few groups, I left those very quickly as well, because I was in a club and I didn't really like the feeling of having a group and a club at the same time, because that just took a lot of my time, and I am in school obviously, so that wasn't my best decision. But eventually I also decided to start making a bunch of groups since I was in that club. Now, before, keep in mind, not only did I make a bunch of join a bunch of groups clubs when I was younger, I also made a bunch of them, and I would do the exact same thing. I would make them, and like I would actually spend like a good amount of time into the Discord server, and making it look nice, making a club edit, and I wouldn't think like the actual outing part through. I would really enjoy the making process of a club. Like, I loved designing Discord servers and editing the pictures for my club, but I didn't really like the owning part of it, because don't get me, you really have to put a lot of time into a club or group to own it properly. Like, a lot of time goes into it, and I would just underestimate how much time how much time went into a club. And yeah, I was disbanding it very quickly. Now, when I started making groups, I did the same thing, so I really regret that, because I could have just have understood like, okay, I'm already in a club, why would I take the responsibility to own a group as well when all of my club owning experience wasn't very good? Like I was disbanding clubs a lot as well, so why did I think that making groups was a good idea? But yeah, I ended up just deciding that owning something was not for me, even though I really enjoyed it. I just couldn't invest as much time as was needed into it, which basically just made the quality of the club or group a lot less. So basically, to summarize what I have just been talking about, I really regret making clubs or teams slash groups, whatever you want to call them, and I also regret making clubs and joining them without thinking it through very much. Now, on the topic of clubs, younger me just decided to join a club. And like I said, I did intend to be a good member, even though I ended up not being a good member because I would leave very quickly. But that did meant that I would feel responsible for needing to buy the club horse and club outfit. Now, eventually it was only the club outfit, but when I started joining clubs, I would just immediately buy the club horse without even thinking. And I now have a lot of horses in my home stable that are bought just primarily for a club. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the horses I do like, but a lot of them I don't like. And I just have them because of a club. And I'm like, well, I never liked this horse, why did I buy it? But younger me just felt like I needed a horse. And don't get me wrong, a lot of clubs are still that way, where they're like, yeah, within a month you need to have the club horse, but real money goes into horses. So yeah, I don't know, I definitely understand that for like a dressage clubs you want it to be aesthetically pleasing, but I don't think you should have a time limit on when someone buys a horse unless they said that they could buy a horse within a time limit, and they didn't. Like, I understand that to a certain point, but yeah, I don't know why younger me was buying horses so quickly just for a club, because I ended up leaving anyway. So yeah, I definitely regret buying off those club horses and having them in my home stable just rotting away because I don't ride them. They were just primarily for a club most of the time. Now, another kind of money-based regret that I have is spending so much money on SSO. Now, don't get me wrong, all of the star coins and money I spent on SSO was my own money. Like, when younger me would ask my mom for star coins, she would buy it with her own bank account, but then she would take the money off of my bank account because at that age I didn't have access to my bank account, but I was still allowed to buy stuff. So, you know, my mom would take the money that I spent off of my own bank account, and now I just buy it with my own money straight off. But you know, I spent a lot of money on SSO, and I am still guilty of spending money on SSO, and I don't regret spending money on SSO because, you know, there's a lot of memories that I have on this game, and I play this game almost every day, so it's basically just a hobby, and I don't mind investing money into hobbies if it makes me happy. But to a certain point, younger me was spending money just because I felt like I needed it. Like I said, for a club or just to fit in, I needed to buy the new horse. And I definitely don't have that anymore. I just buy horses when they are in the bazaar. And I use my money as efficient as possible. Because I still have a few thousand star coins left over from like 6 months ago or something when I bought all of the Christmas horses, I believe. I still have those star coins. Yeah, I'm just a lot more, yeah, I just save my money a lot more, whereas I used to buy star coins and just spend them straight away, and on that front I kind of regret spending money on SSO because I wasn't thoroughly deciding whether or not I wanted to spend my star coins efficiently, whereas now I spend my star coins efficiently, so I don't really mind spending money on SSO because I know I'm gonna use it for something I actually enjoy instead of just buying a club horse, for example, just to leave that club. Now, On the topic of buying horses just because they were released, because I used to do that, I don't do it anymore. I don't own a Norker, for example. I don't even own a Mustang. Like, I just buy horses because I want to buy them and not because they are newly released. But when I was younger, I used to feel pressured to buy a horse whenever it got released because I had huge FOMO for SSO. And it's not only for in-game occurrences, it would come to a point where if I was in a club and I was outside of my house and somebody would ask, hey, does anybody want to call? I would feel huge FOMO because I wanted to play with people on SSO as well. And I am also a huge SSO dressage nerd. If you've ever been with me in a club, you would know that because I just want to do. Yeah, I want to do all of the things possible with SSO dressage. I want to make routines, I want to be in them. And younger me would feel so guilty if I needed to do something during a dressage outing because I would think that I was immediately missing a chance to be a competition member, which most clubs had competition teams, and I wasn't long enough in any clubs to be in a competition team. I was once, but that club sadly disbanded before I was able to compete in a competition. But I wanted to be in a competition team, and each time I missed an outing, I felt like I missed a chance to be in a routine. And it would come to a certain point as to where I was checking the Discord 24/7 to see if anybody needed help with anything or something because I just wanted to be a good member, and I definitely went a bit overboard with it. I ended up being at school during breaks. I don't know if you can hear that, but my cat is meowing very loudly. But yeah, I would be in school during my break checking the Discord just to see if anybody wanted anything. I don't know. I just felt like each time I wasn't available online, I was missing something, and I've definitely learned that that was very unrealistic and that I should just accept the fact that an online community is an online community and your real life definitely goes before what happens in a pony game. But younger me just didn't feel that way. Younger me felt like I always needed to be available and I always needed to be there to be qualified as a good member, which definitely isn't the case. I definitely think that you might even be a good club member if you accept the fact that your real life has to go before your online life, because if you dedicate your whole entire life to the club, that definitely could work out good. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but it's not realistic, that definitely just makes that gives you it's just not realistic to dedicate your whole entire life to a club like I was doing. So I definitely regret doing that because now another topic that kind of goes hand in hand with the FOMO is it doesn't go hand in hand, but it kind of also has to do with my real life, and that's the fact that I am to this day still deeply ashamed to mention to people IRL that I play SSO. Like, there's a girl in my friend group right now that figured out I was playing SSO. I think it was because I reposted a funny TikTok about a few bugs in SSO, because SSO TikTok, some of them are quite funny, so I just repost them on TikTok. I don't know why I do that. It's fine. So she basically found out that I reposted a TikTok about SSO, and she was like, hold on, you play SSO? And I'm like, yeah. And she said that we should play together. I've never played together with her because I do not want to connect my online identity to my real life identity. I don't know why, but it's just, I'm also kind of scared that she's like somebody in this community that I don't like, although she probably isn't because she doesn't play SSO to the extent that I do. I believe she actually just plays it whenever I play it almost every day because this game is like one of my biggest hobbies. That's also the reason why I have a YouTube channel on this game. Like, I really like this game. I don't plan on stopping playing it anytime soon. Like, I do take breaks. I do take month-long breaks, but other than that, I'm quite active with how much I play this game. But I don't think that she is, which I'm quite happy about that because I was like, wait, you know I play SSO? And I was just, yeah, my heart sank to my stomach. I was like, no, I don't know why I'm so ashamed to admit that I play SSO in real life, but then again, I am pretty much ashamed about all my interests because I am like a huge game nerd. I know a lot of stuff about Minecraft. Like, I was playing Minecraft with my sister the other day, and she didn't even know that you could find, I don't know what it was. I know it was something that I thought that everybody knew. Yeah, it was the fact that you could, in Minecraft, you can change the sleeping percentage to 1 on a server, and if you do that, then if one person sleeps, the night goes over and not everyone that's playing on the server has to sleep. And she didn't know that, and I thought that that was just basic knowledge. So yeah, anyway, I'm just a bit of a huge nerd, and in real life I'm a bit ashamed to mention my interest to anyone, which is a regret that I have, is basically that I never talked about SSO with anyone unless I played SSO with them. And yeah, it's not really a big regret because most people aren't interested in it, but I definitely regret being so ashamed of it. Like, it was even to my family that I wouldn't even mention. Like, if they would say, yo, what are you going to do? I would never say, oh, I'm gonna play SSO. I would just say, I'm gonna go upstairs or something, because I was very much ashamed of the fact that I played a horse game. Alright, so the last regret that I have, because I've been going off topic way too much, so I'm just going to be, and this video is way too long because I keep going off topic, like I keep just going on a full-on rant instead of just explaining why I regret something, but you know, it's fine. My last regret is not starting YouTube earlier, and you know, it does have a reason. Like, I was way too young to start a YouTube channel. Like, I wouldn't have wanted 10-year-old me to start a YouTube channel, obviously, but you know, I have been enjoying this experience, and even though I took a 2 month long break, I am back now and I'm really enjoying it. And you know, I watch YouTube, way too much YouTube, on a daily basis, and I think it's also fun if I make my own YouTube videos to kind of try and watch YouTube less, you know. No, it's not really because of that. I just really enjoy talking about stuff like this, you know. It's just a way that I can out my feelings sometimes. And making YouTube videos is genuinely a very fun and creative process. Like, you can definitely be very creative, although I haven't really unlocked that type of creativity yet. I'm still trying. I have, however, very much improved. I was watching my first video back and I was cringing a lot, but you know, this has definitely been a very fun learning experience. I've been learning a lot through making YouTube videos, and I kind of wish I started a little bit earlier, you know, because this has been a dream of mine for a very long time. So yeah, if you want to start a YouTube channel, just do it. Like, people aren't, now, a lot of people probably aren't gonna see your first video. Like, my first video got 15 views. Not guaranteed that that's gonna happen to you. You could get 1,000 views on your first video, you know. But yeah, your first video probably isn't gonna get watched a lot, just based on how YouTube works, I believe. So if you want to start a YouTube channel and you're ashamed that people are gonna think you're weird, your first video isn't gonna be watched a lot, so you don't really have to be worried. And then at the end of the day, it's an interest that you have. You are free to do whatever you want with your life. If you want to start a YouTube channel, just start it. I did it as well, and it ended up being a very positive experience. So yeah, if you want to start a YouTube channel and you are afraid that people will think you weird, I personally just have the mindset that if people think I'm weird, they're weird themselves, because you really shouldn't judge other people unless they're like doing something very mean or something to you. But otherwise, you shouldn't judge other people, and in my opinion, everyone who judges someone else is weird. Yeah, I don't know. I just have this I have this mindset where I think that everyone who judges other people is weird, because why would you judge other people? You know, why would you make someone feel bad? I don't know, I'm going off topic again. So, yeah, that was the end of this video. It's kind of a weird ending, but I don't really have any regrets. I could probably think anymore. I could think of more probably, but then I will just start rambling here for about an hour, and I have already been sitting here for almost an hour, so yeah, this video is going to be quite a bit to edit because I've been rambling on about nonsense for like for 45 minutes or something. But anyways, that was the end of today's video. If you want to get notified on when I post, you can click on the notification bell down in the description, or you could follow my Instagram, which is also linked in the description. And on my Instagram I will also post like a question box. If I ever do more training times that involve my viewers, I will be asking the questions over on my Instagram. So if you want to participate on any of the videos that I do, please make sure to also follow my Instagram. Once again, it's linked down in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!